Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at Rattrap. This is the new Transformers Universe IDW version of Rattrap. This is the Hasbro one, not the Takara one, so this is the one that's like $10 to $12 deluxe class. And boy, oh boy, is this an improvement over the original Rattrap, which I thought was fairly good for the time. This one is pretty darn good. It's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it overall. Let me get his accessory out of the way right now. So clearly this is robot mode, and he looks like a pretty solid action figure. He does have a little bit of a backpack, which is kind of standard. They want you to keep his feet up here some way or another, but I don't remember the feet showing at all, so you can easily just fold those down, and they tuck away fairly nicely. The tail, on the other hand, you're kind of stuck with it. In the show, the tail didn't show at all. I don't know if it did in comics he was in, if he was in the comics or not. But the tail does hang down. It's not horrible, it's a little disappointing, but it's not too bad. Well, as far as the composition of the figure goes, I think it looks pretty good. It's not exactly like the show, but it's pretty close, and it has a decent array of molded plastics and painted parts between the silvers and grays and orange and tan. It's pretty nice, and then he does have the almost accurate head sculpt. The light piping works well because they actually put some red on the eyes, despite the fact that it's clear light piping, so that's good. The sculpted bits, they have the little gear thing in there that's not a real gear, but it was there on the show, so they put it there. It looks pretty good. The rat head tucks in nicely. I'm really happy with it. So as far as the articulation goes, the head's on a swivel. You can kind of make it look up, but that's not really what you're supposed to do. That's just kind of the way the build works. But you can do that. The ears are a little big. I think they get in the way a bit. If you can kind of just fold them back or tuck them in a little bit, that would be good, but it's still kind of accurate. They're just not supposed to be as big as they are in robot mode. As far as the shoulder goes, you can see it's a ball peg, so you can bring the arm up like that, rotate it around, do whatever you need to do there. And we have the single joint for the elbow. Does that rotate? I think it does. Yeah, that rotates there. So the elbow is pretty good off. Not great, but not bad. The forearm does open up, and he has his little charge in there. I don't know why they made his accessories clear, but they did. So that just pops out, and then he has his, it actually almost looks like binoculars, but if I remember correctly, he had explosives in his forearm. So I think that's what that's supposed to be. I don't know if the instructions actually mention that or not, but that snaps shut. And then we have the wrist. Doesn't swivel. That would have been really nice to have a swivel. I guess they didn't have any room for it anywhere to build that articulation into it, but he does have a gripping hand for his accessories. And the same thing on this side, except the forearm does not open up. There's no waist twist. We do have ball pegged hips, full range of motion with the thigh swivel. Knee articulation, standard hinge, almost 90 degrees, it's not bad. No foot articulation at all, so that sucks. It's going to limit the posability a lot, but still, he looks pretty darn good for a deluxe figure, especially by today's standards. He looks really good, and then he stands about 5 1/4 inches tall to the top of his head. Looks fine to me. He does come with his gun, which is actually, if I can take him apart, 2 smaller guns, so that's kind of cool. We can put that back together and let him hold that, which he does hold nicely in his hand. So definitely a good robot mode. It's not perfect, but so worth getting. Easily a 100% must-have if you're a Beast Wars fan. Get this Rattrap figure. It's really good. Let me get him transformed, and I will show you what he looks like in Beast mode. Ooh, I also forgot to mention, he has little Maximo logos on his forearms, and they're done really well, even though they're super tiny. And then he does have some paint throughout the ears, and then on the rat face, but I'll show you those in beast mode, so I'll do that now. Alright, so I have Rattrap transformed, and this might be the most impressive Beast Wars alt mode or beast mode that I have ever seen. They did an incredibly good job of making him look just the way he should. I guess maybe they could have done the shading a little bit better on different pieces, you know, to spread it out across the back a little bit. But that's really it. This thing is impressive. The head looks good. The whole body tucks in so nicely. It's so compact and sleek. The legs tuck in. The only issue is that you do see the robot parts underneath, but you know, they can't just put flaps everywhere. so I'm okay with that. The tail is actually bendable, so there's a wire running through there so you can pose it however you want. It folds back like this, and I'll show you why in a second. The mouth opens and closes. The teeth could definitely use a better paint job, but it is Hasbro after all, so we're not looking for too much there. The ears are painted, the eyes are painted, the nose, the feet are all that lighter color. It looks really good. It stands just fine on the ground. It looks just the way Rattrap should look. Bring the head all the way up if we want to. But you can also, because if you remember the show, he did a lot of standing on just his hind legs. You can fold the feet down, fold the tail back, and then bring the head down, and it has a piece that hides that. And now he's standing. Of course, you do see that kibble a bit more, but you can have him standing if you want to, or jumping, or whatever you want to do. His gun tucks in there, his arms tuck in. Everything snaps together super nicely. The shoulders can swivel here. You can't really move these hips too much. I wish this was a ball peg instead of just a swivel for the feet, but it's still a pretty impressive figure. We could have used better articulation for the hands there, but you do have the shoulder articulation. So it is definitely an impressive Rattrap figure. I am really happy with it. It's just so nice. It's really nice to get these quality Beast Wars figures that at least I've been wanting for a really long time. It looks so good. I'm really, really impressed with this figure. I have to recommend it 100,000,000%, which you can't do, but it's 7.5 inches long. Really good size and quality for a deluxe figure for $13. Cannot beat it, without a doubt. Worth getting. Love these figures. Get one for yourself and you'll see why. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.